Hi everyone, welcome to Traveling Misknits. My name is Pia and I am so happy that you're joining me here in Texas today, where I have absolutely no progress on the whip that I brought with me. I do, however, have 3 new cast-ons, so there's that. Last time we spoke, I was still in Denmark and I was trying to work through my projects because in my experience, a lot of whips don't travel very well. They tend to be too bulky, and why bring a project where there's only a few days of knitting left? So I was on a finishing spree, also because I knew that once I was over here, I wanted to cast on another blanket because I don't have enough blankets on my needles. What I wanted was a blanket that I could keep over here so that I could work on it a little every time I come. I can pick it up, work on it, and leave it when I travel again. And in the end, I would have a beautiful blanket to put on the bed here beside me. That was definitely my plan coming over here. I had been looking at different crocheted blankets. I wanted something that would give me a beautiful end result, because as much as I enjoy the process, the result is also very important to me. So something that would be beautiful, something that was portable, at least partially portable, which, I mean, that's typically something that is worked in squares or sections. Something that was relatively mindless, because when I'm here, I want to engage with the people that I'm with. I don't have a lot of solo crafting time, so I wanted something that I could just sit and work on while being together with the people that are here. But on the other hand, it also needs to be interesting enough to keep my attention over time. Yeah, I was, of course, looking at Jane Crow's website with, I mean, those blankets. They definitely take the box of a beautiful end product, and actually also the box of having something that's very portable. But mindless, not so much. One day I'm gonna make one of her blankets, but not this time. I was going back and forth and I was looking for blankets, Googling and trying to ask YouTube, and I found the answer. Actually, the answer came with the yarn. My daughter-in-law reminded me that I had a big box of yarns in the garage, something that I bought a long time ago. I had been watching the Elise Rose Crochet channel, and she talked about how she preferred to crochet her blankets in acrylic yarns because she thought that woolen blankets were very heavy. At the same time, there was this huge sale going on for the Red Heart Super Saver. This one, they were practically giving it away, so I bought a truckload of that. Looking at these colors, I could see that what I wanted to make was a granny square / stripe blanket that I had seen someone making on YouTube. And let me just see if I can find it here. Michaela Rains. You know what? I'm gonna put a photo up here. It was a video that I watched a long time ago. This beautiful young girl who was crocheting a granny stripe / square blanket for her grandma. She was finishing it up in this episode that I am gonna link in the description box below. It is a combination, as you can hopefully see from the photo that I'm gonna post up here, a combination of granny squares, surrounded by some granny stripes and another round of granny squares, and so on and so forth. So when the yarn and the idea for the recipe came together, I just threw myself into it. And here's what I have. So I am not making the center square because what I want is a blanket that will just cover maybe half of this queen size bed. So I don't want something that goes all the way up, just something that covers half, at least for now. So I am making a rectangular blanket. I have made this center, and now I have started crocheting around in granny stripes. So yeah, this makes my heart sing. I love these colors. I think they go so very well with the other colors in this room. It's all like very subdued, very soft, very gentle. Yeah, and still with some contrast so that you keep the eye interested. When I am working these granny stripes around the center, I make sure to turn my work every 2 rounds. So I crochet 2 rounds, then I turn and crochet the next 2 rounds from the back side. I find that if I don't do that, if I crochet a giant granny square just going around and around, then I find that it gets crooked, it's skewed. So by turning my work every 1 or 2 rounds, I find that the tendency of the crochet to pull slightly, it will be pulling both ways, thus creating a solid square. So yeah, I am enjoying this immensely, and all of the squares has been crocheted up as we have been on the go. They've been crocheted in the car, at jiu-jitsu, waiting, hanging out at bars and restaurants, and now, of course, it's not portable. This is not portable. This is stay-at-home making. But if I need something to go out, I can always start working on the next round of granny squares. I'm going to continue these granny stripes for as long as I want. And then I'm going to add a round of tiny granny squares and then some more granny stripes. And yeah, we shall see how this will grow. I have in the small of these, I have 4 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. And on the 4th round, I am crocheting the squares together. So they're different, but the final round, the 4th round, is all in the same color, and that's when I crochet them together. And these ones in the middle are 8 rounds, so that the math is going to be good, so that they fit together. I don't know about the next round of granny squares. Maybe I will just make them 2 rounds, just for like a section of teeny tiny granny squares, and then at the outer border maybe I can do some 4 rounds again. I don't know, time will tell. This is something that I'm playing with. I'm just having fun, and I am really enjoying it. It does work up super fast because the Red Heart Super Saver is a rather heavy yarn. I am using, let me just see the hook size that I'm using. That is a 5.5 millimeter, so it's not like it's a huge hook, but it goes very well with this yarn. And as always, I am keeping a hook and a small cutter just in a little pouch with my crochet project, because before I started doing this, I would lose so many hooks. I would just put them down with my project, feeling like, yeah, it'll be there when I pull it up again. And it, more often than not, it wouldn't be there. So now I keep a small pouch with my crochet hook, and I put it in there even if I think that I'm only just gonna get up to go grab a cup of tea or whatever. I am still putting my crochet hook back in my pouch. So yeah, this is a project that is bringing me so much joy. I bought this basket for it. It's just something that I got off Amazon. But yeah, it is, yeah, everything about this project just brings me joy. I will say Red Heart Super Saver, it's not my favorite yarn to work with. It's acrylic and it has that like squeaky feel to it, but I have worked with it before, and I know that once I throw it in the washer, maybe even the dryer, it's gonna soften up. And yeah, I need to make something with all of that yarn. It's a big box. There's still a lot. I think I bought 3 skeins of each of these colors. And then I actually bought 6 skeins of this color. I think it's called Buff, which is the one that I am using for the outer rounds and for crocheting the squares together. So I have yarn. I have loads of yarn. I even have yarn for more than one blanket. So I should start using it, and I am really enjoying this project. A couple of weeks ago, we had a giveaway on this channel, and I enjoyed that so much. So I thought, why not do it again? It was a lot of fun for me. I hope it was fun for you as well. I hope you're up for another giveaway. What I am going to be giving away is connected to the next whip that I'm going to show you. This is a pair of socks, and they're in this beautiful little window bag from the Playful Knitter. I am going to link her YouTube channel in the description box below. It's a beautiful channel, and sometimes she will make a handful of bags and sell them. So watch out if you like this style of sock bag. I enjoy it a lot. I am knitting a pair of socks in this beautiful yarn. I don't know, I have a thing for the black and white mauve these days. I am really enjoying this yarn. It is so soft, yet it feels really sturdy, and I just love how it's knitting up. Just see, this is so pretty. I added a pop of color up here, something that I learned from the Crazy Sock Lady. She has a tutorial on YouTube for how to do that. And I'm also gonna add some contrasting heel and toe. I have these colors. I'm gonna figure out how to place them, but I'm a little unsure because I'm not a seasoned sock knitter. I actually don't know how much yarn you need for a heel or a toe. So if any of you out there knows how many grams you will need for one heel or one toe, which they're going to be the same because I am doing afterthought heels, please let me know in the description box below. I'd really appreciate it, because then I can weigh all of my little sock scraps and figure out what I'm going to add in. I have a lot of this yarn, and I can see myself knitting these socks with all the contrasting colors. And because I have a lot of this yarn, I'm actually going to give a skein away so that one of you can try this. I am really, truly enjoying it. It is an 80-20, yeah, merino nylon, and it is this beautiful black and white marl that, yeah, I'm here for it. And I really love how it pairs with a little pop of color here and there. So I am going to give away one skein of this sock yarn from my stash. So to enter to win this giveaway, just add a comment. Any comment, really. If you know the answer to my question, how much yarn do I need for heels and toes? That would be a very welcome comment. But you could also, you could basically comment anything, but maybe you'd like to tell me what you're doing when you're knitting. Are you only knitting, or is your knitting often with conversations, spending time with people? Do you knit and watch podcasts, knit and listen to ebooks? I got so many great suggestions for new books. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that at the end. But yeah, you could let me know what you do while you're knitting. But really, any comment on this episode is going to enter you into the drawings. So I am going to draw a winner right before I record my next episode, which is probably going to be just before Rhinebeck, like 2 weeks from now. I'm a little hesitant to set a firm date. I'd much rather say that I am going to draw a winner just before I record my next episode. So please go ahead and comment right away. The last thing that I have on my needles is in a beautiful little bag from Knitwear by Maggie, one of my favorite project bag makers. And what is in here is the beginning of a little ribbed hat for my grandson, Victor. Victor was, he was looking in my project bag and going like, Grandma, what's in your knitting bag? And I said, well, that's a shrug. I was knitting on one of the shrugs. And he said, why don't you knit me a hat, Grandma? An orange hat. So, I mean, what could I do? He is so knit-worthy, that kid. So I rushed home to see what I had in the department of orange, which was not a lot. But these two together, they just make a beautiful fabric. It is so soft, it is so squishy, it's just a little bit fluffy, but not too much. I love this fabric. This one is Drops Brushed Alpaca Silk, which is a bit heavier than your typical silk mohair. It's a heavier weight. I think this would probably count as a fingering weight. And it is very, very soft. There is no itch factor to this at all. Because I was thinking it is for a child, it goes on his head. He is a warm kid, he runs around a lot. So I wanted to make sure that there would be absolutely no itch factor. So brushed alpaca silk, and then the Drops tweed, which is a relatively new yarn from them. It is so nice. It's kind of lightweight. It is a DK, but it feels lightweight and very, very soft. And then it has all these beautiful variations to the color and this tweedy look. So these two together, I love this. I would make one for myself even. I am knitting the hat the way I have like two standard hats that I do. I have one where I start from the crown with some increases until I think it fits me. Then I knit down, 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 and then I have a special way of folding up the brim. And then I have this ribbed hat formula, where I just do 2x2 ribbing until I think it's long enough. Then I separate the stitches into 4 or 5 sections. I make sure to separate in the middle of a knit 2, so I have a knit stitch on either side of the stitch marker that I then add here. And then I do decreases on every round. I do just before, no, just after the stitch marker, I knit 1 and then I knit 2 together. I'm pretty sure that's how I'm doing it. I will correct myself if I'm remembering it wrong, but I think that's how I do it. That gives like a little swirl on the top of the crown, and if I continue it far enough, it also gives like a little top to the hat, which I find is so cute. Stitch count for hats. What I typically do, I mean, I have some like go-to numbers for DK weight because that is what I usually do. But if I have a heavier or a finer yarn, typically I'll just go look up a free pattern for a ribbed hat and take whatever stitch count that they put in there. The most important thing with hats is that they're not too big. Rather too snug than too big, because a hat that's too big is just gonna, it's gonna be so annoying. Believe me, I learned the hard way. It's gonna be so annoying because it's gonna fall down into your face or it's gonna fall off, and it's just not gonna sit nice. So rather a little bit too snug than too big. But yeah, I think here for Victor, who is he's 5 and under, kind of a big kid, I have 96 stitches. So obviously you want a stitch count that is divisible by 4 if you're going to do 2x2 ribbing. But I've also done these hats in 1x1 ribbing if I, for whatever reason, wanted a stitch count that wasn't divisible by 4. But yeah, this is also perfect car knitting because it is just going around and around for, I think, 21, 22 centimeters, something like that. It's probably going to be correct. One thing I do when I am knitting a hat that has a fold-up brim, can you see on most cast-ons you have a nicer edge on one side and a not so nice edge on the other side. So on this one we have the nice edge here and the not so nice edge here. I of course want the nice edge to be visible once the brim is folded up. So typically, because I know I could just flip the hat inside out, knit it from the inside, but I also know I'm going to forget. I could also do a short row and turn the whole thing just before the decreases. I forget. So what I typically do is I cast on my stitches, I knit 1 row, then I knit 1 row rather than continuing in the round from the cast on. So I knit 1 row first and then I join to work in the round. That will give me the wrong side of the work turning out, which again means that when you fold it up, you will have the right side turning out. I am not sure if I'm making any sense. I truly hope that I am. But yeah, another simple, easy little project that I can just sit and pluck away at while I am doing my wonderful family things over here. So yeah, I also brought my Jenis rug, the dark blue version that I was knitting, and I am still kind of hoping to finish it for Rhinebeck, but if not, I have sweaters. I have sweaters to wear to Rhinebeck. I'll be good. No worries. So I'm not going to stress myself. I am going to pick up whatever I fancy. I'm going to knit on it and I'm going to enjoy it. I just realized that I completely forgot to talk about what I'm wearing, and it is one of my favorite summer knits. It is the Be Beautiful, a very, very simple summer tee. There's nothing much to it. It just has some really cute details. It has in the neck, we have the reason for the name, and I really hope that it comes through now. It has bees flying down the neck. And then it has this very subtle scalloped edging here. In the ribbing, you're doing a little bit of scalloping. It's very subtle, but I really think it just adds this little extra something to a very, very plain tee. It is quite the easy knit, but I am enjoying it a lot. This version is knit up in a yarn that I really like. It is called Alen DK. It's from the Danish hand dyer by Killerek. I am going to link it in the description below. It's in her colorway 50 Fabulous that she dyed up for me. And it is a mix of, and now I have to think, alpaca, linen, and silk. So 3 fibers with loads of drape, and yeah, you get the fluffiness from the alpaca. You get the fun from the linen, where the fiber takes the dye a little differently, and then you get the glow from the silk. So I really love that yarn. I love this t-shirt. It is such a pleasure to wear. I will say it's 33 Celsius today. That's pretty hot. I'd probably be warm if I were to go outside wearing this. But in here, I am so enjoying it as this not quite fall, but still not quite summer piece that I can wear under a jacket or on its own. Sometimes I even wear it on top of a shirt that I then leave open. I love this piece. So yeah, that was it for the creative content. I do have a little bit of chatter about what's been going on. If you're interested, you can stick around for that. It has been quite the 2 weeks since we spoke last. I was, as I mentioned earlier, still in Denmark. I was preparing to go over here. So one of the last days, was it the last day or the second to last day, I decided to cut my hair. I decided to channel young Pia. I used to always have bangs, so I decided, I need bangs. I cut my own hair. I've been doing that for years, which is probably horrible. I should go see a hairdresser, but yeah. It is what it is, and I really like my new bangs. I also cut around 10 centimeters of the length here because after the summer everything was looking a little bit worn out. So I feel fresh, I feel new, and I'm really happy with it. After we arrived here, we just fell into the beautiful rhythm of family life where weekdays, Monday through Thursday, they're quiet and they're following these same routines that I love so much, where we have school and work in the morning, and then we all meet at a big lunch after the kids are back from school. We have some time together, and then the rest of the day is just playing, having fun, maybe watching a movie, playing board games. Yesterday we played bingo, which was a lot of fun. Last Friday I made Danish pancakes, which they're more like crepes. So I made like a stack of them, and we were snacking on those for what, 3 days or something. It was, yeah, that was delicious. My son really loves the Danish pancakes, so when I'm here, I make a point of at least one day make him a big stack of them. We also spent a day in Fort Worth, that was fun. Usually when we have gone to Fort Worth, they live in the Dallas area in Plano. And we have been to Fort Worth before, but that has been going to the stockyards to see the cattle and all of the fun. This time, my daughter-in-law had found a small historic train that took us around one of the big parks downtown, and there was like a popcorn stop halfway through, and it was lovely. I had a lot of fun, and the little ones were ecstatic. After that, we went to the water gardens in Fort Worth, which were beautiful. That was amazing. I really enjoyed that. So if you are in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, the water gardens, just hanging out on a quiet afternoon and enjoying the water and the art, and yeah, that was wonderful. This weekend, we are going to go to Peter's favorite steakhouse, the TG Steakhouse over in Richardson. We need to do that. It's his absolute favorite place to eat. So, of course, we're going to go. We're also going to go out shopping because Peter's birthday is coming up. And I do have something, but I don't have everything that I want to give to him. So we decided to go there and, yeah, see what we could find to spoil him with. Let me see. I have been reading a lot. I got some really good suggestions from some of you with wonderful books. One of you even made a full list, and I was like, okay, I can trust this person because a lot of the books that you had put on this list I had already read. For some reason, I never got around to read The Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. I've read other of his books and loved them, so I threw myself into that one, and I absolutely love it. Totally recommend it. That was such a great read. So thank you for the recommendation, and please keep them coming. Another one recommended the books of Frida McFadden. I like those too. Ooh. I read one. It was in Danish, but I think The Love of a Father, A Father's Love, something like that. They're like these really like semi-scary things. They're, yeah, perfect for this scary time of year. Perfect Halloween reading. I totally recommend, and I already downloaded the next one, so I am going at it, and I am really enjoying that. I hope that you guys are all happy and safe. I hope you have some great projects to work on, and I hope that I will see you again the next time. I am thinking maybe I'm going to record an episode while up in Rhinebeck, not at Rhinebeck per se, not at the fairgrounds, but recording an episode in our Airbnb. That would be fun. I think I'm gonna aim for that. So remember to add a comment. Any comment is gonna enter you into the giveaway for the skein of beautiful mulled sock yarn. Until we talk again, stay happy, stay safe, and keep knitting.